epidemic continues to be a huge problem in various states. And of course, there are elected officials and members of police departments that are trying to grapple with it, find ways to solve the problem and go after the right people in order to lower the number of overdoses. Well, there is one sheriff in Florida who went about it in a little bit of a questionable way. It's Sheriff Peyton Grinnell, and he is at the Lake County, in Lake County, Florida, I should say. And so he puts out this video, and a lot of people are like, but what are you doing? What is this? Okay, take a look.
I'm Lake County Sheriff Peyton Grinnell. Over the last month or so, I've had several phone calls from citizens in this county concerned about the number of overdoses related to heroin. I want our citizens to know that I am aware of this serious issue. I am asking our residents to please call and let us know if you know of a location that this poison is being pushed out to our streets. You can remain anonymous. To the dealers that are pushing this poison, I have a message for you. We're coming for you. As a matter of fact, our undercover agents have already bought heroin from many of you. We are simply awaiting the arrest warrants to be finalized. So, to the dealers I say, enjoy looking over your shoulder, constantly wondering if today's the day. We come for you. Enjoy trying to sleep tonight, wondering if tonight's the night our SWAT team blows your front door off the hinges. We are coming for you. If our agents can show the nexus between you, the pusher of poison, and the person that overdoses and dies, we will charge you with murder. We are coming for you. Run.
God.
What?
And then he looks at the guy behind the camera, and the guy behind the camera is like, nailed it.
That was real. That was a real video that was meant to be taken seriously. So a number of people on this police department's Facebook page have compared it to an ISIS video. One person said that they were expecting the sheriff to, this is not funny, but it was an interesting comment, to behead someone with a dull knife.
Oh God.
It was such a strange video. I don't know what he was thinking, and this is not how you tackle a heroin epidemic. It shows a fundamental misunderstanding. Exactly.
That's how Batman does it. And through utilizing fear.
There's so much to comment on.
Are you saying you disagree with Batman?
Maybe not, maybe not. Maybe Batman is right. Maybe he's the arbiter of
Peyton Grinnell, Dark Knight. Maybe not.
There's so much to comment on. Okay, so first of all.
Yeah, and there's obviously a serious side that we'll get to. But first of all, it is laughable.
Yeah, like the fact that he doesn't look at the camera at all because he's reading something. He's reading the script on the side. And then at one random moment, it just starts zooming in. When
not at a random moment.
Be afraid.
I have a message for you. Then zoom in on me when I say I have a message for him. I have a message for you.
Yeah.
There's the music in the background.
Can we play the video as B-roll as we comment on it? Because I have a lot of things to say.
Well, they definitely have they look kind of badass. Like when you cover someone's face and you put a vest on them.
Sure, I guess, I think the one who's closest to the sheriff on the left-hand side probably looks the most badass. The one on the far left looks like a joke. Why is he wearing, his eyes are complete, why is he wearing sunglasses? His eyes are already completely covered.
Okay.
This is absurd.
They filmed this during a short break while skiing. And so he wanted to be protected from the elements. I don't know why I didn't cover his hands.
This is crazy. And also, I think that you guys could probably notice that it seems as though the sheriff is giddy at the idea of knocking down someone's door and raiding them in the middle of the night.
We've covered some of those.
We've covered a lot of those drug raids, which usually end, not usually, but a lot of them end up with a family pet getting killed.
A lot of dogs
them showing up in the wrong home.
Killing the wrong person.
Throwing a hand grenade in a baby's crib. We did that story a couple years ago. And so it's like this weird power trip that you notice with some cops, and I feel like it's displayed in this video. Look, the heroin epidemic is serious and we need to find solutions for it. This is not the right solution. Opioid deaths have quadrupled since 1999. There were 33,091 deaths in 2015 alone. There was a 22.7% increase in overdoses in Florida, okay? From 2014 to 2015. So these are cops from Florida. They understand that it's a serious problem. They want to tackle it. I respect them for that. But this video is both comical and also shows, again, a fundamental misunderstanding of how to solve the problem.
Yeah, the only way that I won't criticize them is that I get that at core, they see the damage that heroin is doing and they want to do something about it. And I have produced a lot of cheesy videos. And so I understand that you go into a project thinking this is gonna be badass, but then it turns out that even though you and your friend are lightsaber fighting to the best of your abilities, it doesn't look that cool a couple years later. So I know what that's like. But everything else beyond that, it's not just comical, it is comical. Like I love the one guy who is like, no, the glasses are too much, I'm not putting on the glasses. I respect that guy. But there's the dark side too, where, okay, so you think you're just trying to terrorize the drug dealers, but you're sending that out to everybody who lives in the area where you work. Like you're trying to terrorize the population. And you're not supposed to be a terrifying force, you're supposed to be a stabilizing force, someone we can rely on and trust. You're not supposed to look like special forces. Nobody except cops likes the gigantic influx of military grade equipment and how badass it looks. Cops love that, I get it, the weapons are cool. But the people don't like that. The people want you to be a regular guy, walking the beat, maybe you have a sidearm, you protect us. And the idea that you're gonna hunt down and scare the drug dealers like Batman, that you're gonna kick down the door, like do you not follow how often that ends tragically? That it ends in the loss of life, innocent life, or just effing drug dealers? Because drug dealers are bad people in some cases, but they're not rapists, they're not murderers. They're people who are selling something you disagree with that very well might be legal in a couple of years. It's not a military problem. It's a problem of public health. It's a problem perhaps of education.
Yeah, that's a great point.
You're not supposed to sneak up behind someone and shoot them in the back of the head. That is exactly the wrong way to approach the drug problem.
Absolutely.
And that guy's not 70, he's relatively young. He just became sheriff, I looked it up. This is a terrible precedent to set.
Oh, he just became sheriff?
Yes, and so he wants to look badass. And look, again, you can't discount the role of social media and the internet. Like they think, look, maybe we can get a little bit of press. Maybe I could become governor on this thing. I'm not gonna speak for the guy, but I don't like the incentives to try to terrorize the people that you're supposed to be serving. We know where this road leads in America, and it leads towards dead civilians.
Absolutely, and I think that it's important to find solutions by using tactics other than fear. You don't want your people in your county to fear you. You want them to trust you, and when you present yourself as some sort of like crazy military dude who's like
vigilante,
giddy at the notion of like knocking down your door in the middle of the night, like that, I think that creates a certain level of fear and distrust toward you that you're not even necessarily wanting. So just keep all of that in mind as well. Again, the heroin epidemic is devastating. And I think that a lot of people who maybe don't watch, in-depth news about it, don't understand where it comes from, how it started, how pharmaceutical companies are involved. Like you want to talk about pushers. You want to talk about pushers, okay? The real pushers were the pharmaceutical companies. And so, the criminal behavior is always geared toward those who are in the worst position in their lives. And I'm not trying to make excuses for drug dealers. I think that the traffickers do need to be targeted to some extent. But again, this is not the right way to go about it.
Young Turks membership creates independent media.
Believe me.
No ads.
Believe me.
All the shows.
Believe me.
On demand.
Believe me.
Support independent media.
Believe me.
It's awesome, tremendous. You'll love it.
Believe me.
And by the end, you'll be thinking,
I'm like a smart person.
TYTnetwork.com/join.